Or things you shouldn't say about kids.
Hey, good evening. This is Nicolina Nix, and you're here for another episode of Women, Wit, and Wine. We were on a little bit of a brief hiatus during the holidays, but now we're going to be up and running and doing, for a short time, pre-recorded shows and uploading them on Sundays. But we will be back on track and have some entertaining and amazing guests. Today I have my co-host, Nick Key, joining me today. We're here to talk about what not to say about your children. And it's an interesting story. Tonight's wine is by the Naked Winery in Hood, Oregon, called Penetration. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a nice, crisp, dry wine. A great mixture. And so, Nick, what do you think?
I think it's awesome as long as it didn't pass through the cork, but it looks like we're holding up.
You're funny.
So, yes, we'll be trying this out.
We'll be trying it out, absolutely. So, a little bit of a background about the story is that, I work for a new company, and the company that I work for, we drive a lot, and, we're in a car with several managers, and I'm a manager trainee, but several managers and other employees. And at one point, the woman makes a comment from the back seat about her sons, and the statement is, "My bone-worthy sons." And
wow. That's quite a statement.
I'm a pretty open-minded person, but you know what? I'm also one of those people that it really takes a lot to leave me speechless. And I was pretty speechless that day.
Who wouldn't be? Anybody that has kids would be totally blown away by such a statement. I mean, bone-worthy, is something you would say that, your dog's like, hey, my dogs are bone-worthy because they've been good. Or, hey, they dug up a nice pile in the backyard. Look at that. So, but I think that's a tough statement to say about your sons. I mean, you remember being in school?
I remember being in school.
All right, so when
which part of school? Which school?
Any part of school.
Kindergarten.
So before, you could use very explicit language. A lot of people would refer to guys that were not very, very savvy as boners. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude, don't be like a boner. Don't be a boner.
Yeah.
Instead of using the word that they use today. So it was a way around to getting around the whole, calling someone
bone-worthy.
A bone-worthy person.
I mean, what is bone-worthy? I mean, I realize that bone-worthy means bone-worthy means fuckable.
Wow. Yeah.
My fuckable son.
Mm.
And I think we all have. When we look at our children, we all think they're good looking and everything, but never in my wildest imagination would I use the word bone-worthy about my daughter.
Right? Yeah, what a thing. And, then it's kind of odd, how do you take that as a child, Hey, thanks. Is that a thanks, Mom moment? Does that go in?
No, I don't. Okay, so being a comedian, right? Okay, being a comedian, I talk about my daughter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I talk about my children, but I'm talking about them on stage. I would never say it in a professional setting in regards to the employer that helps pay my bread and butter, that pays my mortgage payment at work. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, right?
Right.
So as a comedian, time and the place. I can make fun of my daughter. I can make fun of my daughter for having sex because she's an adult and being in the next room and being kept up. My joke is about that. But nowhere in there would I go out there and say, you should go to a bar and see my daughter because she's a one hot stripper.
Right. So really, we would laugh at our kids for being boneheads, doing foolish things, which is very entertaining. That's our bread and butter as adults, is that fact that our kids are there to make these mishaps that entertain us so much.
Right.
So, and lots of times nobody has a venue to talk about them. You're very lucky that you have a great venue so that you can.
I wouldn't go to work and tell my boss about how my daughter kept me up all night because she was in the next room having sex.
Right.
Right. But I wouldn't say that on stage.
No,
because it's a different environment. It's not like, oh my God, boss, I couldn't sleep last night because there was wild sex going on in my house. Unfortunately, it wasn't me. But apparently,
on TV.
But apparently, my child's quite a screamer, kind of thing. So nowhere in there would I go into a professional office setting and say that. Of course, as a comedian, you can say a lot more things, and the reality of it is really what's true, what's not true.
Right, and we can embellish. That is our God-given right.
Because we do. I mean, I tend to embellish and exaggerate on some of the stories that I say. I mean, there might be a speck of truth to something that I'm saying on stage, but as a comedian,
we got to rev it up.
It is my place and my right to rework it and make it entertaining to make sure that you're going to laugh.
Right, exactly. So it's like you said, never would you say, hey, my daughter was in the next room, having sex, but you could certainly say, I don't know, I woke up in the middle of the night, I was thinking that I carelessly left my TV on, and it finally got to those MA channels that I've been waiting for, to come on at 1 o'clock in the morning, and my TV wasn't on. Damn. So how do you turn that off?
Oh my God! I totally need that. I need to write that down. Shit, where's my book? I gotta go grab my book.
So that's the thing and who doesn't? That's the problem with anything, is that we look at things as the way they arrived, they're approached, whatever, so makes life interesting.
Did you say your bang?
I did. You keep talking.
Hello?
Oh, the door's open, so she can speak.
No, it was open when...
The light's on.
Say hello.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, but... Again, it's like, it's what to share, what not to share. I don't know. I don't think I would say that about my daughter. I wouldn't go into my boss or other coworkers that I've never met before and say
anything of that to that effect.
Anything of that nature. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean... Sorry, I walked away, guys. I admit it. I had to turn the on the air light on because I totally forgot to do that today.
But yes, so back to the So it is.
And it's that time of the play, and especially like, hey, I just met you, but my son's and then she shows me a picture of, and I totally wanted to do the Kramer face,
Yeah, right.
About the ugly baby,
right.
They wouldn't do anything for me.
Well, there's a level of pride. There's a certain a point in pride where you certainly can say, these are my two good-looking sons, and that means it's you can say yes or you can say no. It's all up to you, or you can say maybe. But
don't you think my boys are handsome?
Right.
That's different than saying, well, that would be, for example, this is far from the truth. It's not happened. So I remember being in high school, and my stepdad was a safety officer for a trucking company, right?
Okay.
And they went to a banquet, and one of the guys at the banquet was so proud of his daughter, walked around showing her how she was a centerfold.
Okay, well, I could buy that. That's an accomplishment.
But
she made the centerfold of a magazine. That's
like Playboy.
well, I'm surmising.
So, but so like that would be, for example, me going, "Hey, look, my daughter's in Playboy magazine, and boy, she's quite the screamer."
Well, you could have a screamer for it. Yeah, it definitely would have been. Hey, I'm really proud of her. Up to the first fold.
Yeah, up to the first fold,
Well,
and maybe the bottom fold, because from here to here, I'm not okay with. Last time I saw that, she was 6 months.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, what I mean, how do you?
You're really.
I'm still fucking speechless over this statement. I just couldn't imagine saying that, and it was embarrassing because like I said, she showed the picture to my boss, and my boss kind of said, "Well, they're not my type," and then she showed the picture to me, and I'm like, "Oh, they're not my type, but they're not my daughter's type."
Right, and it's just it's I think people are looking for
reaction,
a reaction. Yeah, she wanted to see what
validation.
She thought. Validation is good, and and some semblance of her pride. I mean, I'm glad she's happy. She finds that her boys are so attractive that she would consider them.
But it makes me wonder, why do you find your children so attractive that you call them bone-worthy?
That's the question that Mimi will never solve, because we're not from this era where that would even be.
She's not much younger. The woman wasn't much younger than me.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's the whole thing.
Or
she was
let's say from that kind of lifestyle.
She graduated 5 years after me, but still, it's just like, I was just kind of like.
Well, that's fine. And like I said, it's just beyond us, because that's just not something that was said. It was. I laugh because there's things that your parents would say that would be a little derogatory. They used to say, my son, look how good looking he is. Now my nephew, I guess that skips a generation.
He's fuckable.
No. And looks, they'd say, my son's really good looking, but my nephew, I don't know. I guess that's where it shows that it skips a generation.
I'm planning on him marrying his first cousin.
Right, and then time passes, and it's the switcheroo.
Right.
So, here, let me get some wine.
Give me some wine.
So, don't you love the screw top? Nothing says good wine like a screw top.
Hey, you know what? You bought me a screw top once, Nick.
So,
it was called Hobnob.
Well, we were out.
It was called Hobnob, and it was a screw on top, and I think you laughed at that when I did the show. It's like, hey, it's for a screw on top. It's pretty taste wine.
Right. It is pretty good, Especially since it's more prevalent than it used to be.
Right.
Back in the day, screw top wine was one of two kinds.
One of two kinds. Tokay or Mad Dog 2020.
Mad Dog 2020.
Boone's Farms. That was it. Boone's Farms.
So, well, I don't know. I think that sometimes this social media gets the best of us. I think that's what it is, And we get to the point where we're trying to get hits on our Facebook page. And, a statement like that would be, you get all kinds. Can you imagine?
Look at how my daughter is.
Yeah, it's just it would just go, it could have a lot of positives and a lot of negatives and a lot of middle of the road. So
right.
It's a great thing. But, like I said, that's for us, it's probably not appropriate. But, in time, it may be a fad.
Maybe natural. Here, try my daughter.
Right?
Here, try my son.
Yeah, just like the wine. Here, have a nice Cabernet. She's 18
would you like blonde or?
No, that would be a white.
Would you like
a light
with
blonde?
or without hair?
I don't know. We're just speculating.
I'm speculating. I just think that it was interesting. I don't know. There's just some things that you wouldn't share. I know my daughter always hates me when she goes to a show and I've made a joke about her because I admit am guilty of pointing out my daughter when I'm talking about her, and she's at my show.
Right.
I really try not to.
Right.
But I can't help myself as a comedian.
Well, it's kind of like a beginning to being able to pick on the crowd. You pick on the crowd that you know, and you know all of their little shortcomings, and then as other people laugh, you pick on them as well. It's
right.
kind of like an intro. You need a. So when you make the bigs, I guess you hire people to do that. To be your subjects in the crowd.
Well, I mean, it's like I make fun of my friends, myself, my children.
Well, how wonderful! I mean, how nice is it that our lives would be, in a point where we could see the humor. I mean, drama. Well, even the drama can be funny. Gosh, yeah. Take drama to the next level. You I
absolutely. I mean, and then there's been a lot of instances where I do, again, a lot of my comedy is true to life. There is some truth to it, but I do embellish on it. Right. But however, at the same time, it's kind of like, what story can I spin today? And I've done the whole, what my daughter's done, but I would never go to work and say, hey, blah, 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 my daughter did this, and guess what I found, and...
Right, and you know why? It's because, that's that part where you start to transfer yourself into your parents, But
again,
like, oh my gosh, I'm my mother, I can't believe
there's a fine line between... the fact that I'm a comedian, and then the fine line of the fact that I do have a job, I'd say an 8 to 5 job that does help me pay my mortgage while I go through my comedic goals.
Goals, there you go. Yes, so you could be is this girl married still? Is she a single mom or?
The woman?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about her.
Oh, okay. So we'll
so we're riding. Okay, so I have 2 managers in the front seat, and then it's me and my branch manager in the seat, and then the woman and a driver in the back seat.
Right.
And I made a joke. I messaged my boss and I said, "Who's the 2 girls in the back seat?" And I'm not talking about you and me because we were in the back seat. Right. And then she goes, oh, blah, blah, blah. She kind of tells me. And then I said something. I made a comment about being the oldest person in the car. And then I kind of looked at the woman, and then I thought, she kind of looks older than me. And then I thought, I think I'm the oldest person in the car. And I said, what year did you graduate? Trying to be tactful.
How subtle were you?
And then, of course, she's like, I knew, blah, blah, blah. The manager in the front seat would go, would talk about my age. And I said, he didn't talk about anything. I made a comment about myself being the oldest person in the car.
Right.
And I confirmed it.
Right. And you know what? Everybody has the right to not answer or embellish,
Well, I think it's pretty tactful to say, what year did you graduate? Because
sure,
you can kind of guesstimate.
Right.
You say, what year did you graduate? Oh, I graduated in 1983. Well, that either means that I'm 52,
right,
or 53, depending on where I fell in the year.
Well, in defense of her, that maybe she just couldn't do that math that fast. So, maybe she couldn't do the math that fast.
Open the drawer. Open the drawer. Just open the drawer.
So, and therefore, that was a problem.
Well. I didn't really care. I kind of knew that I was, everybody in there was kind of that millennial stage. What's our generation? What is our generation called?
We're boomers.
No, we're not.
No,
You're a boomer.
I'm a boomer. You're
What year were you born?
Let's not talk about that.
So apparently he doesn't want to talk about the year he was born. But, for me, I think I'm part of Gen X.
You are a Gen X. You are.
I think you might be a borderline boomer.
I think I'm probably a millennial. You know, if you're going to ask me, put me on the spot, I'm going to go with millennial. What the heck? Nobody really checks.
If I'm looking in the mirror, I'm a millennial. If I have my age on my T-shirt and I'm looking in the mirror, I'm a millennial.
I am a millennial, let me tell you. You know, but, yes, but that's, you know, you don't have to answer. You don't have to, but sometimes if you're caught in that, the truth is the one that comes to mind. And then sometimes you have to delay so you can, you know, do some figure it out. See, as millennials, they don't care. You're just a millennial.
See, for me,
I was born in 2000. I'm 18.
You know what? It's very funny because I have people that are in their late 20s and they're, I'm not a millennial. It's like, yeah, you are. You want me to tell you why you're a millennial? Because millennialism started about 1982.
And they all think it started in 2000. Yeah. Because that's just easy.
Because my oldest child is a borderline millennial.
There you go, see? I bet she doesn't believe that.
I don't know. She lives
But it is all a social, you know, it's just the social structure as time passes that makes things change, you know, and so people, you know, people can be more daring. Do you think people are daring? I think they're daring.
Are they daring or are they just stupid?
Okay, well, that's a millennial would say daring. A millennial would list it as daring. So it's kind of funny. I mean, we agree. I mean, that would be never anything that I would say. Proud, sure, you know, are the kids good looking? Absolutely, you know.
Right. I mean, I think my daughter's beautiful.
The only thing that matters is what the eye of the beholder sees. So if you know you're gonna see your daughter in a beautiful light, and I'm gonna see my kids in a beautiful light, and I mean you're gonna judge other people's kids like we want to.
And then you and me are gonna look at other kids like we're Kramer, looking at the ugly baby.
But yeah, so I think it's just kind of a different outlook, and it's so. The question is, how are you going to feel about this if it grows? You know, how's it?
What grows? Like
This honesty, this thing about where parents can be a little more vicarious with the way they speak about their children.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
you know, is that going to be are you going to think that's a good thing? Or are you
no,
just gonna be awkward
absolutely
all the time?
It would be awkward.
And how do you address that in a social setting? You obviously were caught off guard, but okay, now that
I was caught off guard for being a comedian.
Oh, okay. Not as a parent.
Maybe a little bit of both. But as a parent and as a comedian, because I'm like, it takes a lot to really kind of like just leave me speechless.
Fair enough.
And this left me speechless. I'm like, what a hate.
Yeah, so can you just imagine? So, yeah, so as time passes and things, as the status quo changes and people have different outlooks, things are going to be kind of tough. And this is the part where I tell you that, you know, it's where we start to morph into our parents and we're like, oh my God, I can't believe these people are like that. And it's just going to happen more. And we're just going to be more appalled, and we're just going to be more upset, and we're not going to have any means to address it besides being grumpy.
I don't know that I like that. I'm not. See, I don't really consider myself a grumpy or a judgmental person. I'm not judgy, but I judged. Okay, I'm fucking judgy. I admit it. I'm a silent heckler.
So that's exactly it. That's my point. So you use a means. So it's funny, but
okay,
we hope that
that
isn't a single incident.
They coined the term for millennials.
Okay.
In 1987.
Perfect.
Around the time children born in 1982 were entering preschool, and the media was first identifying their perspective link to the new millennium.
Oh, very wise.
So from 82 to present is millennials. I am a Gen Xer.
Perfect.
Right?
So
right. Let's make sure I'm a Gen Xer.
Let's just go with that.
No.
Okay, figure it out. And then while you're in there, go to the Urban Dictionary and look up the word she used and see if it's even a viable word.
Bone worthy.
If it hits
no, it's going to be a meme now. So,
really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, Gen Xers. I'm not even a fucking Gen Xer. What the I'm not even a Gen Xer. What generation was I in?
Liar.
No. I mean, okay, 65. Okay. A Gen Xer was from 56 to 64.
There you go. See?
While half were younger boomers. Huh? What?
Yeah, so it's kind of trying to commingle them, saying, well, some of the older ones were boomers and the younger ones were Xers. So I bet that's why the millennials, the old millennials being the 83 clan and the young millennials being the...
Let's see, what? 1965.
She's not liking the answer.
No!
She's kidding.
I'm just so confused.
Right. So this is kind of an interesting... That's why I said this is kind of interesting.
I don't fit in anywhere.
Right? You're right in that. You're right in that void where you're not...
It kind of says I'm a Gen Xer, but whatever. A little bit, but right here it kind of says 64. I'm at the cutoff stage. Fuck. Okay. Beginning with the birth year ranging as early 1961 to late 65. Okay. I'm a Gen Xer.
There you go. Thank you.
Fuck.
It was cleared up finally that because it went to 65, it cleared it up.
I'm an Xennial. I don't know. Zennial. I'm a Zennial. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's a funny... making up words is easy. You can make up anything,
I make up a lot of words.
Right.
Right?
So is the word a real word? Did you Google it?
Oh, wait. We were going to Urban Dictionary it, huh?
Yeah, you said it doesn't... We don't use that anymore. Is that right?
Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
No, it still
Okay.
exists.
Let's see. See if that's a viable word. Maybe she just made it up, and that's why you were
No.
just appalled by it.
Yeah, let's look. Urban Dictionary. We're looking up Urban Dictionary, what bone-worthy means. I'm so down.
Is that what that means?
No.
To be a downer?
No.
Because that's really the opposite.
Bone. Trying to type in the word bone. We're looking up into the Urban Dictionary, bone.
Right. Correct. Just to see if, maybe this X factor is messing us up.
Oh, bone-worthy. A girl who is hot enough to deserve the full attention and dedication of your cock.
Wow! Well, then...
There's a couple of bone-worthy.
It's a girl. But that's referring to a girl, not a
Okay,
boy.
bone-worthy. A girl who's hot enough to deserve the full attention and dedication of your cock. R. Kelly. Look at that tight young girl leaving that middle school. She's definitely bone-worthy. What the fuck? Bone-worthy. The person is sexy, desirable, or attractive enough to have sex with. Look how hot John Eric looks. He's totally bone-worthy.
Okay, so it does apply to boys.
I'm just thinking that woman must have been spending way too much fucking time on Urban Dictionary.
So see, it's all in the way you structure this.
There was another one in there. Hold up.
The sentence
find out.
structure is so much more better.
Get a bone-worthy mug for your father-in-law.
Wow.
It's an ad.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Kind of creepy.
That is wonderful. See? This is what I'm telling you. This is where we're getting at.
Okay, there was another one. Bone-worthy. Bone.
So, we're now an educational show because we're sitting here and we're actually doing some research.
Oh, here's boner-worthy. Boner-worthy is to be worthy of making you get a hard-on. Damn, man, that Charlene sure is boner-worthy. I agree, bro. That is totally redneck talk.
Wow.
Boner-worthy. Anything, person, place, or thing that deems worthy of an erection. Robert Downey Jr. is a boner-worthy. That's not for me. Oh my goodness. That whorehouse was so boner-worthy. Hey, look at his dog. It's a beautiful dog. Some would say boner-worthy. So you want to fuck a dog. Is that what it's saying? Boner-worthy.
Yikes.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yikes.
Not words I would use.
Correct. We agree. Correct. So,
So, what's the reference? What's the reference words that we want to go with that? Besides the boner word, is there other references that are in there besides that one?
I have to go back to the first one for the bone word.
So
okay, let's see what else is.
Yeah, sometimes they reference other things that would be very interesting for us to be learning today. Well,
Hashtag sexy, attractive, desirable, alluring,
there
seductive.
There you go. Hashtagging. That's perfect. See, she could have used that. Hey, my sons are like hashtag good looking.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I wouldn't use that about my daughter.
Right. So, this is just what happens. This is the way things work out.
Have you ever looked up your name on here? On Urban Dictionary? Mine says, is best appreciated when considered as a single entity.
Really?
Nicolina
Wow.
is by far the most awesome person you could hope to meet.
Awesome. So how's
It's almost unfair for Nicolina to be allowed to take on the rest of the world, and she is always ahead to begin with.
Right.
Wow, Nicolina,
Very
you win
nice.
at life.
Hey, I like that one. We should print that one out and put it up here on the wall.
Let's see.
So
Okay.
does Nick command the same
Let's see
awesome?
what Nick says. Nick is the most amazing guy. He's extremely attractive but modest. Very popular but still friendly.
There you
He's
go.
very stylish and humble. At the same time, Nick cares about his friends and adores his family. And is quite protective about the ones he loves. He is always there for those who need him, friend or no friend. He likes to be around the ladies, and they all adore him. Nick is a wonderful son, an amazing brother, a loyal friend, and a perfect lover. If Nick loves you, then nothing else really matters.
Wow.
There's another one here.
Excellent. I want that one printed out. I'm putting it on my side.
Yeah.
Wall.
Yeah.
You're
Here's,
like totally awesome, and I'm like,
yeah, you're awesome. And here's the other one. It says, the most amazing person in the world has ever been blessed with. He will make your heart beat fast and say with an I love you, make you weak in the knees with a kiss. He will make you feel like the most important person in his life. He will make you feel like you're the only one he wants. And he has everything every girl could ever want. He has a wonderful personality, great sense of humor to go with it.
Well, with that, I think that's awesome. I mean, just
So yeah,
I'm gonna deflate my
Your
self-esteem
ego a little
and
bit?
ego that is now filling the whole room.
absolutely.
I need another glass of penetration to let that
Do you, or do you just need to be penetrated? I don't know. Are you
Just to let
bone worthy? You need to be bone worthy.
Totally bone-worthy.
Bone worthy. Nick
No,
needs
I
to
think-
be bone worthy.
Isn't that funny? I can't even imagine him saying such a thing. How about you?
Oh.
You couldn't say it, even about yourself.
I would just use I'm fuckable.
If you have to get down to
If I'm gonna just
Be straightforward.
I don't want to fucking beat around the bush. Well, I want you to beat around my bush, but I don't want to beat around the bush to say I'm fuckable.
Right.
I say I'm hot all the time, and really what I'm referring to is that one day I'm pretty sure I'm going to spontaneously combust because I'm at that age, I'm having hot flashes. I like to drink alcohol, I'm Caucasian,
Right.
and studies show that spontaneous combustion happens to Caucasian women in their 50s who like to drink.
Awesome.
At least I'm going out with a bang.
That is the truth.
And in flames.
I mean, in flames.
So yeah.
Roman candles. You're basically.
I'm kind of like a Roman candle. I'm just waiting to explode. Pop me, baby, pop me.
That's a beautiful thing because Roman candles last a long time. See, I'm more of, like a sparkler. Just
Are you?
for a minute.
You fizzle out after a while?
fizzle out after a while.
But at least he glows when you wave it around.
I can write my name.
Okay, so that reminds me of the movie. Do you remember the movie? What the hell was that movie called? Skin Deep? It had John Ritter in it. And there was this part in the movie where you see this glow-in-the-dark condom coming out.
Oh, really?
And another one comes out, so they're kind of like a glow in the dark, like a cockfight.
Oh,
Not like they were doing it. It was just kind of like the parody of the whole
thing.
cockfight thing.
Oh my gosh.
It was pretty funny. It was called Skin Deep. Oh my god, I can't remember, but I can't believe I remember that freaking movie.
We're just bringing it all up. We're putting it out.
Yeah, just put it out.
You want to hear us be vulgar? Boy, are we really
We were
nailing
really
it.
vulgar.
Really vulgar.
But,
Really putting it out there. Big time.
I'm going to just say I'm not bone worthy right now.
But definitely the other. You know, so I guess it just depends on how that makes you feel.
What was your generation for a hot person?
We just said they were hot. That was it, and all the things that happened in the Urban Dictionary
Mine
we kept
too.
a secret.
Right.
So if she turned you on, you would.
Actually, what it is ours was we wrote on the bathroom wall.
If you really like Julie, here's the phone number.
Nick
Yeah.
Key
Yeah, that's right. Right here. He is. That's funny. Yeah.
was here with me.
Right here, right now. And, yeah. And he is very poor at pretending to be a young lady. But
They broke the mold with him.
That's
I don't
right.
know. I remember, don't you remember? So, I remember even, oh my God,
You
even
remember-
23 years ago, sitting in bathroom stalls and reading the wall.
Well, you remember the most hurtful thing you could hear is somebody would say you were easy? That would be like the most hurtful thing. What do you mean I'm easy?
No, my most hurtful thing growing up was, are you pregnant?
Oh, well.
Because I always had, okay, so I've always, even though, okay, so I was like a size 7 in high school.
Perfect.
That's not fat, but a 7 in my high school days is probably more like a 3
Today.
today.
Wow.
So, because I weighed 98 pounds
Mm-hmm.
in high school. So I've always had a little bit of a punch, and people would always come up to me and make comments about me and the rumors, because,
Right.
for us it was about rumors and
Right.
breaking our hearts and kind of thing. So mine was always me being pregnant.
That's kind of hurtful. I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, and that was so that's probably the worst thing somebody could say. I mean, I didn't care if you said I was easy.
So, here's the funny part about it. So, basically, you were pregnant for 4 years. You should be like in Guinness. That's pretty good, the whole time in high school. You should have said, I'm still waiting for Steve's
Are you
baby
kidding
from
me?
being a freshman.
Are you kidding me? I still get asked by the doctor, is there any chance that you're pregnant? Well, if I am, we're making medical history.
Yeah. When your doctor says that, that's what I consider a shame on you moment. You should say, I don't know. Wouldn't you know if I'm pregnant?
Right. I mean, did you not look at my medical records before? In there, can't you not see that I've had a hysterectomy in 1999?
I think it's still with my hysterectomy. Would you go get
They took that fucking oven out a long time ago. That's been a goddamn playpen ever since.
That's right. That's why I'm having these. That's why I'm a. What did you say? You're an explosive.
I'm
You're
waiting to
flammable. Spontaneously
spontaneously
combust.
Okay, so the reality of it is right now it's such a bad season. It's dry season, and the reality of it is I'm like, okay, so if you're a person of color, mulatto skin, the darker color skin,
Sure.
you have to use a lot of lotion to keep yourself from looking ashy.
Oh yeah.
Well, the reality of it is as white people, we're still fucking ashy. It just doesn't show as much. So I'm waiting for a wind to come blow along, and I'm going to fucking explode because my skin is so damn dry right now.
Right.
Or the fact that I drank a little bit too much last night, I might explode from spontaneous combustion. So I'm either going to go out with the wind,
Right.
or in a blaze of glory.
Either way, there's going to be some
Either
ash
way.
left. There's just going to be.
There's going to be some type of ash, whether it's flakes or.
It's just a matter of How far did my ashiness go?
How far did I go?
If I was
Because the
in bed,
freaking weather is cold and I'm dry?
that's right.
Or did I drink too much last night and I'm Caucasian and over 50 and overweight?
So see, this is the thing. It's we're enjoying this.
Okay, I'm really not that overweight.
No.
I've lost weight. So if somebody says, "Did you lose weight?" I said, "I guess I'll know when my pants fall off."
Right.
Because right now I'm at the in-between stage.
Oh, it's too easy to be judgy, and the world is still living that life of, girls are supposed to have this certain physique, and boys are supposed to have this certain physique, and even though we still have them in the mirror that we see, that one-way mirror that we see that makes us look wonderful.
Oh no, it's a one-way mirror that makes me think, who the fuck is that woman? When did she get fat?
Sure. But
that's not what I look like.
Right. I'm that size 7. But the thing about it is, this is the kind of dialogue, this is the kind of outlook, you should have for yourself, and you should certainly share that same kind of outlook, with when you talk about your kids, the same thing, let's just presume. So, have you ever told your daughter that you're spontaneously going to combust and be just a little bit of ash left when it's all over?
No,
probably not, because she probably didn't take the time to ask or get that in depth in your life to see how you doing, Mom, or same thing, with anything,
right.
It's like pain, I love it when you hear these young kids talk about pain. I'm in so much pain, and I'm like, holy moly,
you don't know what fucking pain is.
Right?
It's very funny. I used your statement once about. I remember you were telling me a story about somebody and one of your kids. They said they were going to call 1-800 child abuse, and you said that's okay. I'll go to jail, and I might spend some time in jail, but when I get out, I'm still going to be your dad, and by then I'll just have learned to do it better.
That's right. That's right, and I'll be like buff, and I'll know how to make it long.
Or somebody's bitch.
Yeah, whatever. However I come out, I'm not going to be happy.
They both start with a B.
That's right. Yeah, either way, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'm not going to be a very pleasant person.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, so like the reality of it is like, what do you say about your kids? You know what? I'm proud of my kids, blah, blah, blah. I probably say stuff about my daughter that is really not necessarily
flattering,
but I would never say something that's not appropriate.
Correct.
In a professional setting.
Right, because there's that line in the sand that says, take it this far, but don't cross the line. I'm a professional comedian. Right, I agree. And I want to push the envelope. Correct. And I will make jokes about stories about my daughter. Sure. But embellish stories. That's the beauty of it. That's the nature. Absolutely. I take the small kernel of truth and I embellish it. And it makes for great material. But at the same time, I wouldn't go to work in my 9-to-5 job that pays my mortgage and say, "Oh, well, guess what I found? I found that my daughter stole my vibrator," kind of thing. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Unless you were the opening act to somebody important at the the Comic Con, Comic Con. At the World Series of Comedy. That doesn't make sense, right? Comic Con means, it's about comics itself. Comic convention. Right, comic convention. Comic Con. Why couldn't that work for comedians? Wouldn't it be a Comic Con? No. It would be a comedic con. Come on. Commodity con. Got it. Or the World Series or a comedy festival. I don't know. They use all kinds of names. Yeah. Because a comic is different. Comic book is illustrated. Well, I guess I'm kind of illustrated. Fuck. You're very illustrated. Guess what?
So funny. One of the guys at work, I was like, I was out there doing something at work, and he made a comment. He said, "Look at you acting the fool."
Wow.
I'm like,
nice.
I'm okay. That's that. Well, what are you trying to say about me?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, well, it's just who I am. You know, I don't know. So
Well, it's like the comics say. Thank God he didn't say you weren't funny, because that would have really hurt.
You know what?
Being a fool, you can almost take and roll
Here's
through,
the thing.
you know? But not being funny, that would kind of hurt.
It really hurts my feelings more for somebody to go, I put you last because I just don't get your humor. Well, you don't have to get my humor. If somebody in the audience is laughing, that's all that matters to me.
Correct.
You as a comedian doesn't mean that you have to like me, because I may not like you as a comedian.
Right. Because it takes...
But again, it's about respect.
Ah.
Do I respect you as a person? Yes. Do I respect you as a fellow comedian? Yes. However,
Should you get that same respect?
do I have to fucking like your comedy? No, I don't. I don't have to think you're funny, but it doesn't mean I won't book you.
Right. Because there is a certain population that would find that good.
Well, you know, I mean, the comedy world is kind of cliquish. But however, I'm saying it's so right. But you know, honestly, for me, it's just kind of like, that's not my end game. It's not who my friends is. I want to book my friends. I want to do this. I want to book talent.
Sure.
If you've said one thing to make me laugh, you know, okay, I could probably book you. Would you be my headliner? Not necessarily, but I'll book you.
Right. Well, it's like this trend in Hollywood where, you know, you see these big headliners hiring all their friends over and over.
Okay.
And then pretty soon people go, I don't want to go see that movie. It's just this guy and all his friends. And you know, you're like, so why, you know, if that is an entertainment vessel and this guy's abusing you by just putting his friends in there, and people are going, no, I'm already tired of seeing those same people. The same would apply to any venue. I mean, comedy's an entertainment thing.
Well,
so
you know,
you were always going with your friends. Then
right,
all the
absolutely.
people would remember you by was that, oh, well, it's Nicolina and her friends.
If you see a comedian, for example, in this area, right? More than 3 times a year, you're already seeing them too much.
Wow. And that's based on?
Because we have enough talent to cycle through that you shouldn't see the same comedian.
That's very wise.
Every 3 months. We really do. We have a like, you know, it was very funny because somebody sent me a list of all the people that he said on his show, and I'm like, shit, man, that's a lot of people. So that basically tells me of how many people that you've had on a show, on live stage shows. And it's a list of, okay, there's 26 lines in a college ruled paper, right?
Right.
26 lines. So if you have 3 rows of that, that's 76 people.
Mm-hmm.
76 people.
That's a lot of people.
Divided by 12.
Mm-hmm.
Tells you how often you should see a person.
Right. Which is actually less than 3.
That's not 76. That's 78. 78. So let's think about this. 78 divided by 12. Okay. It says 6.5. So you might be able to see somebody every other month. 6.5 times a year.
Okay.
That would be every other month.
Every other month.
You could probably see the same person.
Or sometime during the year, twice a year. Maybe not every other month.
I mean, depending on the comedian. But, you know, like, okay, so, like, we tend to, like, book the same people. Book the same people.
We do.
Book the same people.
But how much of that is based on the amount of available talent in your network, your local network? Could be.
I think it depends on your. Okay, so I think it depends on your crowd. So, like, I get asked a lot, but you know, like right now with my new job, I have to say no a lot because, like, I don't guarantee to be out of work by 6:00. Like today, I was supposed to be out by 3.
Oh wow!
Today, but somebody called in
And there goes the 3 o'clock.
There goes my 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there went my 3 o'clock because I was gonna be out earlier. So yeah, I mean, I was totally going to be out earlier, and I would have called you and said, "Hey, guess what? I'm at work." But
Yeah.
I got out about 6:15, which worked out because like my supervisor called me and said, "Blah blah blah blah. I have permission for you to work over your 48."
Well, I guess the question is, what's with the deal with 6 o'clock? Is our social nightlifers?
No, we work from 7. Our store is open from 7.
No. I'm talking about the comedic world.
Well, it's not. No, actually, the comedic world starts much later. The problem is that I get out of work. If I get out of work at between 6:30 to 7:30,
okay,
I still have to come home and get ready.
Okay,
because I don't want to go to do a comedy show and
sure.
look like crap
and wear clothes, right? But you could.
I could do it. Am I tired because I've been running all day?
Sure.
I'm exhausted. But now, like, this producer is doing shows Fridays and Saturdays, so I want to kind of say, hey, if there's a opening on a Saturday, I can do it on Saturday.
Right. But those are saved for musicians. Sorry.
No, those are actually... Oh, no, but no, I'm just going to message him and say, I would be available for Saturdays. Saturdays are much easier for me.
Right. Saturdays, Sundays.
Yeah.
Kinds of good stuff. Uh-oh.
But that means somebody's there.
I know. I think that's the big hook telling us we're getting close to time, right?
No, that's not the big hook. Well, it could be.
Dogs barking means it's getting close to time.
No, that means somebody probably drove up.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And that's okay. But we're kind of got about 9 minutes. But so, yeah, I mean, and really, I'd like to produce my own shows. I've been producing my own shows, and I kind of like that.
Well, those are the best because then you can control.
But I need to figure out where I can produce more shows.
Right.
The two avenues. The first avenue is like they don't really. They kind of give a chance for 2 months, but not so much. And I plan on messaging them and going, hey, maybe we can start up again in March. I realized that the season was slow because it was up where there's usually a lot of snow, and they relied on more. But, here's the thing. If you did it consistently for 6 months, the first Saturday of every month, I guarantee you your audience would start to grow.
Sure, because it would get notoriety, especially if you kept it,
the same first Saturday.
Right. The
first Saturday of every month, we're going to do this show.
And it's going to be awesome.
Right. And there's not going to be, the only same person that would be the same would have been me.
Right.
And of course, I had talked to a fellow comedian and I said, hey, if I can't go, can you go host for me?
Right. Or fill in for me until I get there, yes.
No, because I would be here because I can't make it.
Oh, I understand.
Because it was in another city.
Oh, another city. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're going to, on that note, we're going to have to...
No.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
So, we are getting ding-donged. Either ding-dong ditched or somebody doesn't have a key.
It's my daughter.
Apparently, the key doesn't work yet.
Apparently,
But nevertheless, the moral of our story is that, be proud of your kids. Be happy about your kids. Love your kids for who they are, and enjoy them for the time that
So, Nick, you locked my front door.
I did.
Like the inside door. There's no keys to the inside door.
Hey, you said there was a bump, so therefore...
Thanks for being a safety guy.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really the gate, the outside gate that I lock, but it's okay.
Hey.
Yeah, my daughter had to open the door, and she goes, who locks the door? And I'm like, oh, it must have been Nick.
Mr. Safety.
Mr. Safety. So, really, what it is, I mean, take pride in your kids. You know, you promote them, brag about them, boast about them. Or don't ever call them bone worthy. Don't ever call them, hey, my daughter's a stripper and she's a boner. I don't know.
It should be stuff that her boyfriend should be talking about, not your parents.
Well, okay, so like I have made the joke. Okay, here's one of my jokes. One of my jokes is
we're gonna close with the big one.
We're gonna close with one of the jokes. And then we're gonna be back next week. Next week our topic. What's our topic next week? Millennials. We're going to talk about millennials.
Now that we know so much about them.
Oh, my God. I got to be here at 8.
Those are Gen Xers. Oh, my God, they're Gen Xers.
No, those are Poly girls. But anyway, so... I lost my train of thought. Blonde moment. What was I saying?
Talking about your kids. Talking about how to treat your kids. And how they should be,
Yeah, I mean, we brag about them.
And how we should talk about them. And we should talk about them.
I totally, part of my routine is like, if anybody's going to get full credit for my daughter being totally ruined emotionally and mentally and scarred, it's going to be me when she's in a therapist chair because I want full credit, 100%.
Right.
But the reality of it is I don't really go and brag about my daughter's sex. Like one of my routines is basically, hey, sex has been really banging in my house, but it came to a dead stop. Why? Because my daughter's boyfriend moved out.
Right.
Right. I do make that joke on stage, but I would never make that joke at work.
Certainly. Well, that connotation is
even though
it's not a bad thing, but yeah,
they're both a stage and work, but. Okay, there's a time and a place in everything, and a time and a place is not from the 9-to-5 job.
Right.
With your supervisor. Maybe with your manager, you can do that as a comedian, but you can't do that as a salesperson.
Right. Save that kind of talk for your girlfriends.
Right.
Right? Don't bring it to work. Save it for girlfriends. Girlfriends might appreciate it.
I think so too.
But coworkers not so much,
Not so much.
So we agree that that's probably the best course of action. Otherwise, just be proud of your kids, and speak highly of them. They are mirrors of us.
Oh my God.
They are.
I'm screwed.
Yes.
So, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. We got 3 minutes to go.
Uh-oh. Well, we're going to spare you.
We're going to spare you 3 minutes. We're not going to spare you 3 minutes.
Fuck that shit. It out.
We'll be back next week. Another show. Millennials. Watch for the post. Look us up. We're on Facebook. I'm on, I would like to say Twitter. I suck at Twitter. The closest to Twittering is probably the Duracell batteries in my vibrator.
Right.
But, and also on Spreaker.com, you can find Wit and Wine.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that my co-host is here. Finally, my co-host is here. This was a plan a long time ago.
Dragging his feet.
It was a little different. It was a different title, but still, it doesn't matter. I'm so proud to that he's here to share this with me because he is actually one of my biggest sounding boards for a lot of my routines and show topics. I'm grateful. So thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you
Nick,
for having me. It's been an honor. And, especially since I was able to create some stick at the beginning that you're going to be using later.
Some stick? Absolutely. You're going to have to remind me of what it was, because like I've said, I forgot.
We recorded it.
I've talked since then. Oh, shit. Thanks for listening. This is Nicolina Nix, Women, Wit, and Wine. We'll be back next week to talk about millennials and the difference between a Gen Xer and a millennial. Oh my gosh, where will we go and how will the world end?
That is correct.
Thanks for listening and we'll see you next week. Have a great night. This is Nicolina Nix with Women, Wit, and Wine. Bye.